Ndị be anyị ekeneni m unu. Asị m ka ụbọchị nke taa mara na anyị mma. Asị m ka nke onye chikwara ya zelu. Dịka o si dị, ihe a bụkwa Eastern News 24 ka anyị sikwa wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasara maka ihe na-eme na obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya, na gbasara maka nnwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ. Dịka o si dị, ife a bụ ụbọchị akara aka anyị na-akpọkwa ya morning tea n'ilu akwụkwọ gbasara maka ka ya bụ ife si akpọtụ. Ọ bụ na nke a bụ ụbọchị izi gị na-esonyere anyị n'ilu akwụkwọ, kabarụ ka ị join anyị so that you can miss any of our update dịka anyị na-adrọpụrụ ya daily n'ilu akwụkwọ na Eastern News 24. Ọ nụrụ si mee gịnị ya kọrọ nwanne ya. Dịka o si dị, gịnị ife Biafran Prime Minister were ikwu n'ụbọchị nke taa nọrọ ga-esi abịa ife unu atinye alụ nke unu kwuo efe unu chere gbasara maka ihe ndị a niile o ji gị kwuo n'ilu akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa. All right, over to you, sir.
My questions go to my PM. PM, I have issues that I've been worrying about. Regards to the histories of past freedom fighters, for instance, like U.S. where I resided, and also South African have got to do with Nelson Mandela. So when you look at Nelson Mandela, was he fought for freedom for South African, and we also know the history of South Africa right now, current history right now, what is going on there. But my afraid is I don't want us to have the same freedoms like Nelson Mandela have, and also United States had to do with Martin Luther King Jr. during his assassinations. If we look at the past of my understanding observations of U.S., I think the freedom that he was fighting for U.S. is not what they are receiving today. I think he was assassinated in a way to give Black Americans the freedom which made them to become indirectly slavery and sluggish in progression. When we look at the South Africans, they were giving them power, they were giving them freedom, but actually the capital, which is money, was given to white folks, which were able to control the South Africa right now. They have businesses. So I'm asking PM, is he looking that directions? Because we have many enemies, which they will never gonna allow us to be that free as what we are hoping to get. I'm kind of worried. Are we also looking at directions such things not to happen to us with the momentum of our freedom, which we also close to it, and that direction? That's the only question I have. I don't know if also thinking about direction. So we're not gonna make that past mistakes on other previous freedom fighters, South Africans, Nelson Mandela, and also Martin Luther King. And the freedom that U.S. are receiving today is not the actual freedoms. He was assassinated because they think, my own understanding, my opinions, they think if he's alive, the freedom he's fighting for, he's not gonna accept it. In other way to accomplish their own wishes, in a way, take him out from take him off, then provide the kind of freedom that white folks want him to be. Thank you.
I don't know
I really do not understand your question, but a lot of people have paid the price for Biafra, and we are here to finish it.
So my question says, now, like Nelson Mandela fought for freedom in South Africa, and now as you look at it now, it seems like the same freedom he's fighting for, his people is also suffering for right now, and also the same thing leads to America. Martin Luther King fought for freedom for Black race and Black Americans.
You know, the mistake you people are making is to use America and South Africa for reference as Biafra are fighting. Is that freedom? Did these people fight for their own nation? I don't know why. What is the similarity in South Africa and America? Martin Luther King Jr. was fighting for inclusive governance, not freedom. There is a difference between freedom, independent country, and inclusive governance. What Martin Luther King fought for in America is for inclusive governance. What Mandela fought for in South Africa is inclusive governance. It is not a freedom. It is not completely outright freedom or independence of the black people in South Africa. So why are you people comparing these two, these two systems? It is completely different. We are not fighting to become Nigeria or to become something in Nigeria. We are fighting to become who we are before the formation of Nigeria. These are two different things. So there is nothing that is going to happen today that, after the Biafra has regained its independence, that will be worse than what you are going through in Nigeria. So what are you afraid of? Have you not seen debt? Have you not seen enough debt in Nigeria under Nigeria state? Have you not seen enough corruption, dilapidated state, road, and everything in Nigeria? So what is it that is going to be worse than what you are going through in Nigeria today? I don't think that should be, a thing of concern at this point, because the worst of Nigeria, the worst of Biafra will be the best that you are joining in Nigeria.
PM, sorry,
Yes.
I come in. I think you kind of misunderstand where I'm going for.
No,
it's not
I
like,
really understand you. I'm just
so
telling you that. I'm just saying that
yes,
these are two different things completely.
Yes, I understood it deeply. What I'm trying to say, I understand that, the mistake our brothers and sisters making with Mazen and the Cow, previous IBOB in Nigeria. What they were fighting is for what Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela was fighting with ESM stuff. But some of them pretend not to understand your directions. Your directions with government in exile, it give you the power, equal power to talk to every government in the whole world. But at that time, so when Mazen was doing that, they knew what they were doing. Perhaps I assume that Mazen knew, but those there were, as a DSS agents, were employed to do that in a way to continue to deceive Mazen Nakal. That's why every time anytime Mazen Nakal speak to U.S. senators and all that, they know they're not given the actual right, because of they were fighting in Nigeria systems as to fight through senatorial movements or anything like governors in other way to use that to vote for other to Biafra to exit, which what they were doing, which is not going to happen. So what you are doing is the actual thing. But what I'm trying to say, what we are going, the way our Biafra movement is going, I also trying to put that across for you to have in mind. If anything's going to occur, anything going to bring us, these oppressors in a globalist, we trying to, penetrate, also trying to make sure that what we're fighting for, we're not gonna get it. I'm also asking you to look at that direction. Secondly, I'm also asking, if you look at Musa, when he was the video that he posted on social media, I watched it. His body movements, what he said in there, he said something like, the commanders, some of them agreed to leave, but some are also not agreed to leave because of what they are getting. And he made the body movements and his gestures also speak to him, also review the time. It seems like when Hope Uzodinma was also, when he was doing that havoc in Imo State. If you remember what happened, he pretended he doesn't know what is going on because he knew he was in charge. He also is involved with those that killing with ESMs and all China Samur. Every time he goes on social media, when he brought us questions, the body movement makes him suicide. I also want you to look in that directions and also make sure that everything's up, which I know that you're doing. But but for the histories that we have, encountered in the past, I know I'm trying to put into there for my observations. That's the reason I concern. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. But what I can say is that they are targeting us and we are targeting them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. PM, I don't know how long we still have to stay.
We can stay for the next 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
So in Igbo language, I need them and I'm there.
Okay. Hi, I'm Rugako. So whichever way they come, we give it to them. Thank you so much, my PM. Please grab the microphone. You are the only one raising your hand now. The PM have only 5 minutes. If anyone else is here and is ready with a very important question, raise your hand after 1 minute because I can't see any other hand up. When they go ahead, please.
Hello, my beloved Prime Minister. I've been very, very happy since I've been following you. Anytime I hear from you, I feel happy. If I wake up in the morning, I don't see your tweet, I don't sleep. I feel uncomfortable. So what I want to say is concerning the vaccine. This vaccine did not start now. I remember some of my children, I have 2 girls that study in Nigeria. So when they wanted to, the school called me that they want to do vaccination. I told them that nobody should vaccinate my child. Even the one in the university, I told her that nobody, you should not tell anybody to vaccinate you, because the school said that they cannot do that without the consent of the parent. So any mother or father, you know, any school that vaccinates their child, you have every right to take the school to the court. So that's what I want to say about that. So I want to tell our Prime Minister what is happening in my place. Because today we are in a space where they say we should speak our dialect, that nobody should speak English there. So I told them that in my place, in Mbise, to be precise, when I notice some places when people are voting, people will come in mass, they will vote, but in my place, I called them, they said no, that our place is so dangerous that you don't even mention vote, they will come and take you. So we have a lot of sabo in my place because of our traditional ruler is a friend to Hope Uzodinma. In my own, I will not mention my community. So what I'm saying into this effect is that what can we do in Mbise, to be precise, so that people will be free to do what others are doing in other communities? Because when I look at people lining up, voting, I feel happy. Even my junior brother at home, I called him and asked him, have you voted? He said, he has never had anything. If there is anything, this is a match. So he said he has never had anything. Okay, in April, he has never had anything about voting. I said, okay, what you need to do, send me your full name, your date of birth, the date of your wife. I will help you to vote. And that was how I voted him. I told him that I even voted. My mother is almost 90 years now. So what are we going to do concerning the sabos in Mbise, so that our people can get this freedom to be free like other communities we see today on lining up voting? Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Thank you very much. I don't understand that question. Is it
Sir?
a question or a comment? Did you ask question or you just make comment?
I made comment about the vaccine.
Okay,
My question is about the voting in my particular place in Mbise, to be precise. When I ask, they say some people, when you talk about the voting, they will come and pick you up. And it's so rampant. I have made inquiries. That's what is happening. I now ask them, even in our telegram, our state telegram, ask them what of other places that people are coming up. Those places have been conquered. So I don't know if the problem is from the people at the homeland or those, I don't know. So I want you to look into that and know why our people are not being free enough to vote like other people in other communities. Thank you, sir.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. My Minister of Information is back on. Minister, please, if you can grab the mic. I don't know what happened to you since. Grab the mic if you are able.
Thank you. Thank you,
There are
Mazira.
two more people that are here, and the PM said he has 5 minutes. If you can take
Yeah.
them and then we'll conclude.
Thank you, different people. Thank you, the Prime Minister. I have some questions to the Prime Minister to be able to clear some doubt in the minds of Biafrans. Prime Minister, we are made to understand that when the zoo terrorists were reinforcing and trying to buy many slave and aiders and slave boys of one Nigeria that serves in Biafra land during the time of Ojukwu, that the more they tried, the more the Biafran people were coming closer and giving their support to Ojukwu and his army of Biafra. What do you see reoccurring in your own time relating to what the Biafran people did to Ojukwu that time, considering the sabos that we had, and the Biafran people of today in your government, in the de facto and in exile, as you draw close to the declaration of the restoration of the independent state of Biafra?
What we did and what we are doing differently is that we have designed a mechanism that you can never betray and succeed.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Another question, please. Why is the zoo terrorists, from their presidency to the military and to the governors and all those shouting "One Nigeria," drawing away from acknowledging the name, the Biafran Republic government in exile, as a government in the Biafran territory?
Of course, that is a validation. So they will avoid it as long as possible. But you know what? Because we know what we are doing, we'll continue to press their neck until they will open their mouth and shout it. And once they shout it, they will start shouting it. For example, the same thing to the Biafra Defense Force. Have you ever heard them telling you that Biafra Liberation Army do this and do that? They avoid the name. But you know what? We have been always announcing, especially when they neutralize those terrorists, we announce it. Have you ever heard any day they wrote and say Biafra Liberation Army did this and did that? They continue to mention ESN because they know what we are doing, they know what we know, and we know what they know. But when they come, they will tell you ESN that we have actually disbanded many years ago. They continue to mention ESN. So that's something that you should know. But you know what? We continue to stick to what we are doing. One day, they will not only cry, but they will shout the name Biafra Liberation Army. And that will be the beginning of the end. I said, I am waiting for the day this Tinubu will talk about Biafra. That will be the day the fall will begin. So we know what we are doing. The more they hide, the more they try to pretend they don't know what is happening, the more this thing is eating them up, and the more they are going down. They will continue to pretend as if they don't know what is going on. But one day, Musa will come and shout Biafra Liberation Army. Thank you.
A lot of people are skeptical about the power and legitimacy of a government. It's what has kept some Biafrans in the dark, because Nigeria teaches them only how to read and not how to reason or to assimilate information. Could you throw more light on the powers and legitimacy and the importance of a government in exile for those that are still docile to be able to understand and to learn something?
The people that are yet to understand is just they are very stupid. They don't want to understand. Otherwise, a simple search, even if they search it and read and they still understand it, is because of this personal hatred and greed, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu preached many years ago. That the people you need in this struggle are people that are without personal greed, and jealousy. That is what has been clouded many of them. Otherwise, a simple search. And these are the people who claim to be fighting freedom. They don't even know what is government in exile. They don't even know that many countries that have fought and liberated themselves from oppressors formed government in exile. And from government in exile, they transited to the de facto government and become independent state. From Bangladesh to Poland to almost every country that fought independence have one time government in exile. Government in exile enjoy the same right than other government. The only thing is that because your territory has been occupied by the oppressors and you will be operating in exile. And in fact, we even have more privilege than any other government in exile in the history. I am telling you the fact. There is no government in exile that have the privilege that the Biafra government in exile has today. We control the entire territory of Biafra. We have the loyalty of the people, yet we are still struggling because of the interest and because of how they have bastardized our people, damaged their brain, and they continue to use this divide and rule and all that. When they tell you this group is this group is that, and then you say, oh, they are not even united, they are fighting each other and all that. Destruction. Otherwise, tell me any country in the world that have fought for freedom and have been able to, achieve what the Biafra Republic government in Israel have achieved, and they are not independent nation. But of course, we're getting there. So when they say Biafra is the last miracle on earth, well, I don't think it is the appropriate word, but that particular word is to show you the complication and the difficulty and how complex the problem of Biafra are. That's why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu used that last miracle on earth. So we have been able to do what no other government in ESA has ever done. Having all the structure in place, controlling the entire territory, having the loyalty of the people in their millions, 70 millions. You can imagine where 10 million have actually participated with all the disenfranchisement and threat. Like just one of the callers just said that they are picking people up who are talking about voting in one place in the former Imo state. Yet people are trooping in millions to vote. So that shows you where we are going. So what I'm trying to say is that this particular movement today is something that no other nation has been able to achieve. Biafra, a government in exile, has the right to conduct election. Government in exile have the right to form a political party. Government in exile have the right to build their own military, their own forces. Government in exile have the right to protect their own territory if they have the opportunity. And Biafra Republic government in exile is not an exceptional. It's not exemption from this right that government in exile have to enjoy. And like I said, we are not the first. So they should go and just do some search about government in exile to get themselves educated. You know, and some of them will come to social media and tell you, okay, remain in exile, exile, exile. And they will be talking about it as if they are mocking you. And, you know, when I look at these people, I will just say, was this who actually fighting, talking about Biafra in the past? Because they don't even know what is government in exile. When they hear government in exile, you can imagine, oh, his prime minister in exile, and they will be mocking you on that. But you know what? You know, when we formed this government in the beginning, they said, oh, very soon they will take him. Which kind of government in exile? What is government in exile?
Ndị be anyị daalụ nne kwunu si na-esoro anyị ya na-eme n'iru akwụkwọ dịka iso wee gee ya bụ ife ịnụrụ ihe the Balon the Gentle Lion kwugasịrị n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke tata ọzọ dịka ibe ya bụ ka efi nwere ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ndị a niile o kwugasịrị n'iru akwụkwọ ife o kwuriri nne o kwuru ya dịka o si dị ka efi nwere ike ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife a drop ya on the comment section below. Chetakwa na ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si were wetara unu nnukwu ozi ya dị oke mkpa. Daalụ na ụmụnne m, gwa nke emesịa.